Okay, then. So I don't want to have you guys just, waiting around and, especially if we've got commitments and stuff. So, hello again. Like I'm laughing because we said it was going to be translated. We're not really sure if that's going to happen or not at the moment. It's kind of a little a little bit all over the place. So let's just go and see what happens. So I was just saying that the response from the earlier 4 Zoom calls has been really nice. And a lot of people have been writing in or messages have gotten to me saying that they really appreciate just being able to click on the links, which are now up on YouTube and like always there, to listen to the messages that I've been sharing or the questions from other people at their own time. And most of these calls have gone for about an hour, so at any time they can stop it and start it, in your homes. And so it's really beautiful that it's turned out that way. I didn't actually plan it like that, and it's amazing how it's gone that way. So I feel really blessed and really happy that it's like a service that's going up and being stored, that these chats and informations and teachings can be hopefully around for a lot of people wherever you are at your path, because sometimes we feel alone or we have a bad day or whatever. And to have something that you can just click on that you trust, and to watch a message or listen to somebody that is doing the same thing you do and is sharing from a perspective that has worked for them. It's like having a teacher in your home actually just saying to you, look, it's fine. Anything that you're experiencing is fine. And we had a meeting this morning here with about maybe about 10 ascenders turned up. And it was really nice because that was kind of the theme. I love doing the meetings in the morning, and then I come and talk to you guys in the evening because it's like I've already got the theme that's been like kicking around for the day. And that's often what happens in the mastery courses too, is like when there's something that's going on or something that's up for one person, they share it in a nightly meeting and find out that 10 other people had the same thoughts or the same ideas or problems or patterns going on for them as well. And what's really cool about that is realizing we aren't doing this on our own, and we're never alone with what triggers our thought patterns. And sometimes it's just global energy, it moves through our system, and the way it identifies or moves through us and we identify with it is that we just start to think about certain things, old patterns, old ideas, and then suddenly we realize that 10 other people had the same thoughts today. So it's really beautiful to remember that nothing's personal. Like if it's about relationships or if it's about trying to do it on our own, or just having a struggle and then realizing you're never alone, that you can always have help. And that part of this whole journey of waking up and discovering who you are, the ability to just listen to guidance or put yourself out there so that you can learn and get past these little bumps and just realize that nothing is nothing's personal. Everything is for ourselves. Everything is for us to learn. Okay, so I'm going to slow down a bit now so that we can get the translation going in Lima, Peru. You guys good for translation? I can't hear them, so I don't know if they're translating or not. Okay, so you guys can hear me? Okay, so I'll assume you're translating me. All right? So basically what I've started off saying is that a really good reminder is to realize that whatever you're experiencing is not personal. This is my pause for translation. I'm going to have to hear you guys in Lima because I don't know when you're finished translating. So I'm going to unmute you. And unless I start talking. I'm like, who's talking here? Okay. All right, honey. So the theme of the day today seemed to have been wanting to realize or wanting to have validation that everything that we're experiencing is okay.
El tema de hoy es que está diciendo que es acerca de la validación de que todo lo que nosotros experimentamos.
And it's a really beautiful reminder. It's a great topic, actually.
Y es un tópico muy bueno y es muy bueno para recordar.
Because it's so easy for us to believe that what we're doing isn't good enough or isn't right. And there has to be a point in time in our own experience that we realize that's just another thought. That's just the mind. So when we start to have the ideas that we need to do more, we need to prove ourselves more, prove ourselves to ourselves that we're like growing or getting it. You know, it's a beautiful reminder that that's just another thought, that's just another voice, an old pattern. And it doesn't matter if it's energy, it doesn't matter if it's thought patterns, it doesn't matter if it's emotions. I love your cat.
Yeah, he's just in front of everything.
But even no matter what you're experiencing is God as well. Like all of it is God. So it's very easy for us to identify with the emotions and I feel sad, I feel bad, I feel whatever, and I don't like it. I want it to go away. And yet, when we practice our practice of meditation to just be present, and in being present, we're creating that space to be the observer of whatever's happening, then everything that's happening in our experience is a gift to us. You know, we stop having these ideas that we need to change things. Or that whatever we're experiencing isn't good enough. Instead, by becoming more present and just allowing whatever is in our experience to simply be there, all of it, then whatever is in our experience in this moment is absolutely perfect. It's God. So when we're just wide open and allowing everything to simply be there, we have no attachment or no judgment to whatever's there. You got it? And so what happens then is you start to really experience contentment with everything, peace with everything. And you really start to have your own experience that there's nothing wrong. So what we experience becomes the teacher to us. You know, we're experiencing a lot of fear or anxiety for a situation.
Entonces, a lo mejor estamos experimentando mucho miedo o ansiedad por una situación.
On one hand, it's about the situation. Yeah, there's things that maybe we can do or can't do. So whatever you need to do there.
Por un lado está lo que tú puedes hacer o no puedes hacer para mejorar esa situación.
But it's always about your relationship to it.
Pero siempre es la relación con ella.
Whether you're in it, whether you're attached to it, or whether you're observing it.
Si estás apegada en esa situación o estás.
And that is our choice forever.
Y esa es nuestra.
As we become more conscious, it becomes very easy to kind of like step back or become the observer of the energy or of the situation. And it becomes very obvious when we're caught in what's going on. So the practice of ascension and using these techniques is vital. It's a bridge that allows us to disengage from believing these things. And it helps us to realize how important it is to live in the present moment. And just what it gives us to do that, to make that choice. First, we have the choice. So we become empowered again. You know, it's like, it's my choice for my happiness. And by doing that, what do I get? Immediately, I get contentment and peace. So this whole thing about meditation, this whole thing about ascending isn't about some future goal. It might seem like that, but it's not at all. It's about realizing now, right now, that you have a choice and that you can live in this experience of peace right now. And now, and now, and now. But it's always about now. It doesn't matter what happened a minute ago, it's about now. And that's where it actually becomes easy, not hard. Because who cares what happened before and who cares what's going to happen? We can't control that. But it's when we surrender to this moment and live from this moment, it's all about this moment. Your relationship to whatever's going on in this moment. And living this moment 100%. Here in Mexico, I'm in Mexico right now, it's vacation time. Probably where you guys are too. Maybe not in Lima, I think it's winter there, isn't it? But we were talking about vacations too today, because when when you live in the present moment, you're not thinking about where you have to go to find your happiness or where you're going to go to find your vacation.
Estamos hablando acerca de vacaciones, porque cuando estás viviendo en el momento presente, realmente no tienes que estar pensando en cuándo vas a vivir en otro momento feliz o cuándo vas a tomar tus vacaciones en otro momento.
You probably know what it's like. It's like you're so excited to go somewhere and change of scenery, and you're really excited to just relax and have fun.
Ustedes pueden acordar lo que es estar en una vacación, de estar en otro lugar, en otro país, tal vez en otro escenario, y simplemente estar relajado.
But believe it or not, when you're resting in this moment again and again and again,
Créanlo o no lo crean, pero cuando tú te descansas en el momento presente, una vez, otra vez y otra vez,
the happiness is now, not sometime in the future or in a different place.
la felicidad está ahora, en este momento, no en otro lugar, en un futuro.
It's now.
Está ahora.
So your vacation is now. It starts now.
Tus vacaciones empiezan ahora.
It's like we're on this eternal vacation.
Estamos como en una vacación eterna.
And within this eternal vacation, I do my work and I do the dishes and I live in this house. But the happiness is now. It's always with us now.
Y la felicidad es siempre ahora. Y podemos en esa felicidad hacer los platos, lavar los platos, hacer el trabajo, trabajar, pero siempre la felicidad es siempre.
And so it takes away this idea that something's lacking and that when I get to the hotel, then I'm going to be happy.
Y se quita esa idea de que en este momento algo está mal y que o algo está faltando y que cuando yo llegue al hotel en un futuro algo voy a conseguir ahí voy a estar.
No, your happiness is now.
No, la felicidad está ahora.
Don't miss it. You hop on a plane and go on your vacation, your head goes with you.
Y váyanse de vacaciones por eso ahora.
Does she translate me?
Yes.
Okay. You arrive at your hotel and your head's with you. You know, you're still thinking those same patterns. You know, you sit on the beach and this is where I'm supposed to be my happiness, my most happy. And you're thinking about stuff. So it's not about that.
No es acerca de eso, porque si te vas a la playa, igualito vas a estar en la playa y vas a estar pensando en todo lo que tienes que hacer en el futuro.
It's realizing that you have it all now. You have the choice and the ability to experience everything now.
Tienes que darte cuenta de que tienes la capacidad de poder experimentar la alegría en ese momento.
And the most beautiful thing is you have the tools, you have the ability to do this.
Tienes las herramientas, tienes la habilidad para hacer eso.
So all those big words like freedom and waking up and unity and enlightenment, all those beautiful big words, big inspiring words,
Y estas increíbles palabras de iluminado, de unidad, son lindas y son muy inspiradoras.
that sound like, you know, only a few lucky people can experience.
Y ustedes piensan que esto solamente algunas pocas personas pueden experimentarlo.
You experience it every time you rest in this present moment.
Pero ustedes lo están experimentando cada vez que descansan en este momento presente.
And allow everything to be absolutely perfect, whatever you're experiencing, without judgment.
Permitir que lo que sea que estés experimentando sin juzgarlo,
And just allow with this beautiful natural alertness to just be here and experience that infinity of who you are.
y solamente experimentar lo que está pasando en estos momentos.
When you allow yourself to simply be here in this present moment,
Cuando permites estar solamente aquí en este momento presente,
you might experience that this moment goes on forever. It's eternal.
puedes darte cuenta, puedes experimentar que este momento es eterno.
And that is who you are, that space, that eternalness.
Y esa eternidad, ese espacio, es lo que ustedes son,
That divinity,
esa divinidad.
however you're experiencing it without judgment.
Cómo la estás experimentando sin ningún juicio.
The only thing that takes us out of living this divinity of who we are, this bigness of who we are,
Lo único que realmente nos quita esa divinidad de quién somos
is thinking.
es pensar.
That's the only thing.
Lo único.
And that's why ascension, you know, the bright path is only focused on getting past the mind. We don't care about how you sit or how you meditate, like what position you're in. We don't care about that.
A nosotros, el camino brillante, lo único que nos importa es que pase sobre la mente. No nos importa si cómo estamos, cómo.
It's the identification to thoughts that keeps us bound and limited. So let's focus on changing the relationship to that.
La identificación con los pensamientos nos hace estar limitados acerca de eso. Es lo que tiene que cambiar.
So a lady wrote to me and said, can you talk about nightmares? Because she wakes up in the middle of the night and it's hard. You know, she's already got lots of anxiety and feelings ripping through her body, and it's just hard to ascend or to get past that. And so, yeah, I said I would. It's very similar to what I've just been talking about. When we have intense emotion or when we have intense thoughts happening, and we choose to be present, in the very next second we identify with what's going on with us. And if we still feel that anxiety or feel the effects in our body, we believe that ascension didn't help. That could be what we believe. The thing is to surrender to whatever's happening completely. The energy is going to move. The energy is so going to move. You don't have to worry about that. So we were dreaming of something and we wake up and our heart's racing, right? We think our technique, we think to be present, but the effects of a beating heart still happening in our body, of a faster beating heart, I mean. And so we now identify with our body and we think that we need to do something for that to calm down. But the thing is, the body knows what it's doing. It's going to calm down anyway. Our job is to just be still, just be present. Do the best you can to have no judgment. Do the best you can to have no label on the emotion. Do the best you can to just be completely surrendered to whatever you're experiencing in this moment. And then in that experience, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing that you need to do. And it's beautiful because stuff happens. And then we can be present and just allow whatever's going on in our whole experience to be absolutely fine. And it teaches us. It teaches us to be innocent. It teaches us to be present. It teaches us to not try and change things. It teaches us to just allow. Yeah. And so when people have the experience of nightmares or just intensity of emotions or feelings, you treat it as any other experience. You know, it's no better, it's no worse than anything. It's just simply what's happening in your experience in this moment. And it's the same as if you have body pain, it's exactly the same. You know, you just be as present as you can with it and just let it be there. Yeah, and just do the best you can. It will pass. It always does. And that's the beautiful thing with all of this, is realizing that there's absolutely nothing wrong. We always come back to that, but for you to have that experience. You know, your peace. Your peace, your contentment is worth more than trying to work something out or trying to change it. So on the last call, right at the end, the last like 10 minutes or so, I did a little bit of guided meditation with everybody. And people loved it. The feedback was, thank you so much. That was really nice, and it really helped. And I wanted to spend a little bit more time on it tonight. So you guys online are my guinea pigs. Because, you know, to do it a bit longer, of course, we've got to go for longest. But I talked a lot through it last time just to really guide and show people where they were putting their attention. And I want to just stretch it out a bit longer today, just so that you can really get a deeper feeling for it. So for years, I've been teaching, you know, what every teacher of the Ishayas teach about being gentle with the practice, alert with the practice, whatever happens is fine with the practice. And what I noticed is that we can invite people to ascend for, you know, 40 minutes, an hour, and maybe I'm very clear with my experience, but the majority of the people are off thinking for an hour. in that, and in that hour, maybe you remember to use your techniques or to come back and be present, 10 times or something, which is brilliant than none, but still, there's still a lot of room for improvement, right? So there's this balance here of whatever happens is fine. Absolutely. Don't look back and think that you have to change anything, because you can't.
Cualquier cosa que está pasando está bien y eso no lo puedes cambiar.
But the practice of ascension is alertness. The practice of waking up is alertness.
La práctica de despertar es estar alerta.
The whole practice is transcending thought, not thinking for an hour.
Toda la práctica es trascender el pensamiento, no pensar lo que haces ahora.
And so the way that we learn to transcend thought is through being alert to these thoughts, right?
Entonces la forma que hemos aprendido de trascender los pensamientos es estar alerta.
It's a bit crazy. Realizing that whatever's happening in our experience is not who we are. We're the observer of everything.
Darnos cuenta de que cualquier cosa que está ocurriendo en nuestra experiencia, nosotros somos los que observamos.
So, I mean, it's always, the gentleness applies that whatever happens is perfect, but there's room always for us to grow. And that's what the point is of my guided help.
Y ahora, esto que estoy puede ayudar con guías, es porque en realidad siempre hay más que crecer. Igual siempre está bien, o sea, que parte está bien, siempre hay un espacio para que
To actually start playing with seeing how you can disengage from these patterns and from these thoughts.
Entonces comiencen a ver si pueden desenganchar de estos pensamientos, de estos patrones.
And start to really create, or not even create, that's the wrong word, to really discover a clear experience of God, of the present moment, of you.
Entonces descubrir una experiencia clara de Dios.
And realize how easy and effortless it is to do that. So on the last call, I slotted it in right at the end, but I want to do it now. What time are we up to? Oh yeah, we've been going a little while. Because for me, this was the most important part of my journey. Realizing how conscious I could be, and realizing how conscious I could be of the movement in my experience, that I'm not that movement. And realizing, then I could realize my relationship to the stillness and how beautiful that is, and to start deepening that. Yeah. So, you, my little guinea pigs, if you don't mind playing with me. How do you say guinea pig in Spanish? What's a guinea pig in el español?
We have a way to say it in Quechua, because here we have the guinea pigs that everybody eats, right?
So you're not even speaking Spanish, you're speaking something else. That's awesome. Okay.
We say conejo de India.
Oh, I guess it's in Peru somewhere. Okay, So my dear, whatever you're called, guinea pigs and whatever Shadarupa calls you, if you just want to close your eyes. Okay. And we're going to do a very simple, effortless, but super clear ascension right now. See? Okay. So close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, it's as if you're just gently aware of what's happening in your experience right now. It's as if you're looking forward through your eyelids. And usually people just see blackness or light or space or emptiness. Nothingness, whatever you call it, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is for you is absolutely perfect. I want you to just have your eyes closed and you're just looking forward with your eyes closed. And so in this moment, you're naturally alert. You're naturally conscious. In this moment, just by doing what we're just doing right now, there's no judgment. There's no need to change anything. If you're just simply looking forward, there's no identification to who you think you are. With your eyes closed, you're just simply here now. There's nothing else to do. And allow your attention to just rest. Allow yourself to just be okay with what you're doing right now. And feel what that feels like in your body as it responds. The face softens, the shoulders relax, the tension disappears. There's nothing to do, but just relax into this moment. And allow yourself to just rest here now. As you're gently alert, as you're aware of just watching what's happening, I want you to realize or discover what that feels like for you. It's so natural for us to be alert. This isn't hard. We're not trying to do anything. We just have our eyes closed and we're simply looking forward as if we're looking through our eyelids. Now, some people find just doing this hard because the mind's usually fast and the mind says, oh, I need to do something now. But no, allow yourself to not listen to those voices and just relax in this moment. Now, the ascension attitudes that you know, the tools, the techniques are like an anchor now. Think your first ascension attitude, and it just kind of like allows you to settle down into this space more. And just relax. And just stay alert to watching what happens next. And again, there's nothing to do, nothing to try and find. Nowhere to go. Nothing to change. You're just simply watching. Simply observing. And what is it like for you to experience this contentment or this peace or this detachment from thought? What is it like to not be stressed or worried about the past? When people talk about the peace that passes understanding or union, this is the experience right here now. Allowing your attention to just reside in this moment. In this infinite space. This timelessness. So think your next ascension attitude, think your next tool. And just allow all your attention to move from the words back to the space. And just rest. Just watch. Just allow. Allow what's ever happening in your experience to be okay. Absolutely nothing needs to change. Nothing. Nothing needs to change. Nothing is wrong. Allow yourself to just rest and watch. And discover, what is that space like for you? What are you discovering there? Those big words like unconditional love and endless peace. Do they exist there? Allow yourself to just rest in that space. Gently watching, gently observing. And now think your next ascension attitude. Like an anchor. Just continue to rest in this moment. Nothing needs to change. And slowly open your eyes. So I want to hear from you guys. How was it? Was it different from ascending before? Was it the same? Do you have any questions? What was it like for you? You can just unmute yourself and share if you like.
She wants to share.
Yeah.
She said that she experienced that it's more more clear and more clean for her.
More clear for her?
More clear and more clean for her this time.
Cool. That's very good.
More easy.
More
Less thoughts. More easy and less thoughts.
Less thoughts. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, that's a very natural byproduct of being alert.
Eso es algo natural cuando estás en alerta.
Because the mechanism of who we are is where we identify with something and that becomes our reality. And so what you were doing then was identifying more with the space, identifying more with this present moment. Simple. And so you identify less with thought. And so what naturally happens is you just don't care how many thoughts are in your experience or if any. And so your whole identification is actually taken up by resting in this present moment, in this experience of space. And if thinking is the creation of our stress and of our problems, then the opposite happens when we're not thinking. Amazing, isn't it? And so what is the opposite of stress? Peace. And so that's what becomes your experience. That's what you start to identify with, is a calmness, a peacefulness, and every part of your experience starts to identify with that. Your body, your mind, your relationship to your world. I can't hear you. I don't know if you're translating or not. And so, of course, so that's what happens. Just by being a little bit more alert, we automatically have less thoughts and more peace, automatically. Okay, anyone else?
Chatarrupa, ¿te pudieras acercar un poquito más a la computadora? Casi no te escuchamos.
Sí, lo que pasa es que ella dice que le parece, she said that it's very incredible that nothing has to be changed because this thought for her is in a meditation is with her all the time, and that makes a difference, makes it easy for her, knowing that she cannot have to change anything.
That she wasn't doing anything made it easy for her?
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, that's very cool too. One of the things which is really common with all human beings is we have this desire to change everything and judge everything.
Dice que es lo más común con las personas, con los humanos, es que siempre quieren cambiar todo.
And so most of the instructions were just let it be, like just be here now with no judgment. And so, yeah, you start to realize that there's this immense peace when there's nothing to change, when there's nothing wrong with what you're experiencing. No matter what it is, you know, we all have different experiences, and sometimes they can be intense, but to not judge any of it. Okay. Cool. Anybody else want to say anything?
Yes, there's one more Jaya here.
Okay.
She said that she gets into a state where she gets asleep.
What?
When she said that when she's ascending, she's getting into a state where she thinks that she's asleep.
Okay. That's awesome. Sleep's good.
She wants to know if it's okay to sleep. Because she's always getting sleep when she's ascending.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good question, you know? Like that's absolutely a great question. Yeah, with us being so busy and thinking a lot, our bodies are stressed. And so it's often very common that when we close our eyes and ascend, that the body wants to respond by going to sleep. And sometimes it's just going to sleep for, 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and then we come back to ascending and we're clear and alert. And sometimes we're just gone, we're in a deep sleep for like 2 hours. We come out and we're like, oh my gosh, what happened? And it doesn't matter. You get what you need. And it doesn't matter how long you've been ascending, you'll get what you need in the moment. So it's not about that. I went to ascend this afternoon, and as soon as I closed my eyes, I could feel my body like sinking, like falling. And then
why do my be here?
And then 45 minutes I woke up. It happens all the time, and to various degrees. And other times you have an ascension and it's absolutely rippingly clear. So it just keeps changing. Yeah, you just go with it. Again, it comes back to that judgment. Like, don't judge it. It's like it's like the clouds in the sky. They're just there, like we don't want to make them go away. We can't make them go away, but they're just there sometimes, and who cares? But the judgment, we judge so much. Everything's good or bad or right or wrong, and that's such a brilliant thing to see, to stop judging things. And just allow whatever you're experiencing to be beautiful. Anyone else want to share? Who's sharing? Is it Toro? I'm not sure.
Yeah, someone here is sharing, but I don't understand the question, so I'm waiting until I understand to tell you.
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
Oh, yeah. She's just sharing what, like, for him was the close meditation with you, and he said that he felt that he can kick the thoughts for the first time, like a football ball, right?
Kick the horse?
Kick the thoughts.
Kick the thoughts.
No, kick the thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah, she's very happy about it.
Wow, that's very cool. No, I know what you're saying too, because when I started playing with the alertness, you're completely changing your relationship to thought. Completely. You know, before maybe we're trying to get it right, or trying to make the thoughts slow down or something. So there's this judgment and this element of me doing something. But with what I was just sharing with you guys is the opposite. The gentleness, the ability to just simply be alert. And to just rest in this moment without needing to go anywhere. It's by doing nothing but that, the alertness. That's what consciousness is being conscious to what is in your experience. And then your relationship to the movement or to what we've been identifying with completely changes. So it's not that you kick the thoughts out. But you just don't care if they're there or not anymore. That's cool. That's amazing. And why that is because you're changing your identification with who you are. You're no longer identifying with those patterns and those thoughts. You're identifying with the space. And that's enlightenment right there. Being enlightened to what is. You know? And the more you play with that, the more that stabilizes. And your whole world changes. You know, that's the whole purpose of ascension. And hopefully the whole purpose of all meditations. If you're discovering more space and more presence in your experience,
experiencias y después más experiencias.
And less and less and less identification to the patterns and to the thoughts and to the emotions.
Y menos identificación con los patrones, con las emociones.
Well, guess what's happening?
Imagínate qué es lo que está pasando.
Your life is being filled up with stillness. And that stillness is God. That stillness is the divinity in you.
Y está llena de quietud y la quietud de Dios y está llena de
Yeah, everything changes. And it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful experience to know that you can do it.
I can do it.
You can.
You can. Yes, I can.
But you know what? Because, you know, we hear things, we read books, we watch videos, you know, but it's different when you do it. Because then you know it's real for you. And that's the greatest thing you can give to yourself. Anyone else? Variety, I keep looking at you laughing. And what's going on with you?
You know, I don't know. I just have fits of giggles. I suddenly was scrolling through the bar at the top, and I'm like, where did all these people come from, and when did they arrive? There's like everyone. I'm telling you, they all showed up at 9 o'clock.
No, I think I put the wrong time in because everyone started tuning up about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
But we all started at 7.
And then Avram's had his phone the whole time. He's been.
I know.
And I don't. You know, everything is just so pure and so crystal clear, and everything you're saying is just so perfect. I loved it when you said it's different when you do it. You know, you can read about it, you can talk about it till the cows come home, but the difference is always in when you do it. And that's what makes the difference. And you know, when I first went on Mastery, I remember people were like, oh, read this book, read that book. And I said, you know what, I'm done with book reading. I'm here to have my own experience. You know, I'm here to have the experience. And that's all you're talking about tonight. And it's so beautiful and so sweet and just so pure and clear. I've really, really enjoyed it. And I don't know that explains the fits of giggles, but... But it is. It's just delightful.
Thank you, Variety. I love you.
I love you too. I love all of you.
Cool. Anybody else want to share? You just unmute yourself and off you go.
Yeah, I'd like to share.
Who's that?
It's Ganesh.
Ganesh, hola.
Hola. Yeah, it's been pretty incredible. You know, there's these moments where I feel like I just don't do enough. And I know it's not true because I do a lot all the time. But kind of echoing what you said and what Bharati said, you know, to me, it's always been about the experience. And the more I get engaged and start playing more, you know, whether it's with the Bright Path or with work or with, you know, just whatever my experience is in that moment, and I'm willing to actually let go, it just enhances and gets so much more smooth. And being gentle. I noticed that, you know, I remember Maharishi talking about, you know, you think you hit this level of gentleness and then all of a sudden it's completely transformed, and what you used to consider to be incredibly gentle almost becomes violent because there's just those levels of depth that are endless. And it's been an incredible experience to be playing and aware with that. And the people that are in my local area, you know, it's a constant reminder of like, well, I'm not doing it right. And I'm like, well, isn't it? There's not a right. There's not a wrong. You could be more gentle or less gentle, and that's, as long as you're doing your practice, that's all that really matters. You know, so it's been wild.
Very nice. Oh, nice to hear from you, Ganesh. Anyone else?
I like what you said about the who cares about the thoughts.
Who's speaking? I'm just trying to put you on
Good
spotlight.
night, Murray.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Yeah, because I know that's something Maharishi always says, you know, I don't care how many thoughts you have. But I found that the way I kept complicating things was that I kept focusing on what was happening with the thoughts. You know, if there were too many, if they were too intense. But then when I put my focus on the space containing the thoughts, everything shifted. And I really don't care how many thoughts I have or what kind of thoughts. And they can't bother me at all. And there is a different quality to the alertness that way, because I'm not being alert to thoughts, I'm being alert to the silence. And it's a whole different experience. And I think that allows for thoughts not even to form at times.
Very cool. Very nice. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yo. Para mí, cuando me di cuenta de este hermoso juego de alertidad,
For me, when I noticed this alertness game,
cambió todo.
everything changed.
Absolutamente todo.
Absolutely everything.
Porque me podía dar cuenta exactamente algo muy similar a lo que decía Sanata Kumari.
Because I was able to realize something similar to what Sanat Kumari was sharing.
Nadaba entre pensamientos del futuro, del pasado.
I will be swimming in thoughts about the past or the future.
Toda la lista, el check-in que le llaman, la lista, todo lo que tenía que hacer.
I can see all the checklists that I had of the things that I needed to do.
Y cuando me di cuenta que realmente lo único que estaba haciendo era simplemente queriendo saber.
And when I realized that the only thing that was happening is that I wanted to know.
Entonces simplemente pedí ayuda.
So I simply asked for help.
Y me aclararon esa parte que tú comentas, Jaya.
And that part was clarified for me that you mentioned, Jaya.
Y cuando me empecé a dar cuenta de que detrás o delante de todo ese movimiento,
and when I realized that in front or behind of all that movement,
estaba siempre, completamente, siempre esa parte quieta.
that there was always this still part.
Ese espacio pacífico.
That still space.
Cambió absolutamente todo.
Everything changed.
Absolutamente todo.
Everything.
Había mucho más descanso.
There was so much rest.
Había muchísima más naturalidad de vivir la vida, la felicidad en la vida.
There was some, I was living more naturally.
Y me empecé a dar cuenta que absolutamente todo lo que se mueve,
And I could see that everything, absolutely everything that moves,
es solo una ilusión.
is just an illusion.
Y entonces a veces está y a veces no está.
And so sometimes there is there and sometimes it's not.
Y ese espacio inamovible siempre está ahí.
And that is still space is always there.
Y lo único que requería era simplemente darme cuenta de eso.
And the only thing that I needed to do was notice it.
Y la única forma de darme cuenta era estar completamente alerta.
And the only way that that's possible is to be alert to that.
Como si algo muy, muy importante me tuvieran que decir.
Almost like if something was going to be said to me, very important. I need to be very attentive.
El secreto más importante del universo.
The most important secret of the universe.
Y es así como de alguna manera ese músculo de alertidad
And that's how the alertness muscle
cada vez es más fácil,
every time is easier,
más gentil
more gentle.
y sobre todo que he descubierto que es completamente natural.
And above all, that I can see that is completely natural.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Oh, you're amazing. Thank you. All righty. Anyone else? Come on, come on. I'm flicking through to see if anybody wants to talk.
Good evening.
Here we go. Excellent.
We had a group Zoom meeting last night. People came in from all over the country and shared different aspects of what was going on. Where people have been ascending for a short period, those have been ascending longer. But it really came down to everyone discussed some version of thoughts, having thoughts, lots of thoughts, and that what they really experienced was the beginnings of discernment about those thoughts and then detachment from them. And they said it a lot of different ways, but basically we're saying and sharing that I have these thoughts, but I realize it's not me, and I can let that go. Or if I'm having a particularly difficult time, I realize it's not me, but I'll do an ascension attitude to give me the boost, if you will, to break free of it. And it was wonderful to hear different words for people saying the exact same thing. That now I can see these thoughts are not me, and then I can let them go. And it's such an uplifting experience to have 12, 15 different people say a lot of words describing the same thing and the same experience and the same relief or separation from those troubling thoughts. So, yay, ascension.
I agree. Shadarupa, did you need to translate that? Is she still here? Have they gone?
She's muted.
Yes, I'm translating, but very fast and very difficult.
Well, you did a good job then.
I need some parts, but I'm trying to do my best. I'm muted because sometimes I have to do it so quickly while they're speaking. So that's why I'm muted.
Okay, cool. Look at you guys. Look, awesome. That's Lima, Peru. That's awesome. Cool. So any questions to kind of finish tonight with? Anybody have anything they want to ask me?
I mean, she has a question, and her question is, she says, what is exactly the alert?
What is what?
What is exactly alert?
What is alertness? What is it to be alert?
Exactly.
Okay. Good question. Alertness is our natural state of being. It actually is who we are. You know, because we've been identified to thoughts and to thinking, it's almost like we're retraining ourselves to be alert. But the truth is, the alertness is naturally who we are. And basically, it's to just be present. You know, and just to be aware of what's going on around you, to be conscious of what's happening in your experience. And so with thinking, we identify with the thoughts and we lose that alertness.
Y entonces, al nosotros poner atención a los pensamientos, perdemos esa alertidad.
We start to feel separate.
Comenzamos a sentirnos separados.
And we start to have that experience that we're on our own.
Y entonces comenzamos a tener esa experiencia de estar separados.
And so that's where people start to look for God or look for their purpose or look for something to make them feel connected.
Y porque estamos desconectados, comenzamos a buscar cuál es nuestro propósito, qué es lo que somos, dónde está Dios, y comienza la búsqueda.
But the truth is you were never disconnected. You were never on your own. It's impossible.
Pero la verdad es que nunca estuviste desconectado, nunca estuviste solo, es imposible.
But because we put the attention in what moves and identifying with thoughts and this idea of this individual me, then we believe it to be real.
Pero como hemos puesto nuestra atención en lo que se mueve, en los pensamientos, en lo que no es verdad,
so the alertness in ascension or in any aspect of your life is simply coming back to this moment.
Entonces la alertidad y lo que es atención es simplemente venir y regresar a este momento.
And what I was sharing with you tonight through that exercise was how to do it with the most ease and gentleness and natural ability that we have.
Y lo que hemos hecho es ejercicio de la forma más natural, más suave para volver a estar.
You know, because when you start to experience that it's natural.
Y cuando estás experimentando lo que es natural.
When you start to experience there's nothing to force.
No hay nada que forzar.
That alertness is naturally there.
Y que la alertidad está ahí naturalmente.
Your ability to just simply be present and remain in this moment starts to grow because it's naturally who you are.
Entonces, tu estar presente en ese momento es lo que comienza a crecer porque es naturalmente lo que tú eres.
It's probably the opposite to almost everything that we've learned in our lives, because when we're taught things, we achieve things, we do things, we control things.
Y es exactamente seguro que recuerda todo lo que has estudiado, lo que te han enseñado en la vida, porque se trata de tener cosas, controlar cosas.
But with ascension, with this practice, we're learning just to be present, and it is so without effort. Without effort. Did you hear me? I can't hear you anymore.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the alertness is as simple as looking at my hand. You can do that and you're alert. You know, if you were thinking about anything, you could be more alert, you could be more present. And so the whole practice, the whole foundation of ascension is to realize who you really are. And that is that you're not those patterns, you're not those reactive thoughts. They can be there, but it's not you. And by having that practice, that creates that little bit more alertness and that ability to see that space and rest in it. You're free from those thoughts. You know in your own experience you're not them. They're there, but they're not who you are. So the alertness is consciousness. The, the alertness is the infinite.
La alertidad es el infinito.
The alertness is the universe.
Y la alertidad es el universo.
The alertness is God.
La alertidad es Dios.
The alertness is all of those names.
La alertidad es todos esos nombres.
Your star word.
Tu estrella.
You know, that's what the alertness is. It's not something outside of yourself. It's actually that continuum. It's this wholeness. You're not separate from anything.
No es algo que está afuera de ti, sino es esto que entero, que sostiene.
And as you're playing with this, as you're discovering in your own experience what it's like for you, it does feel like it's you choosing to ascend, you choosing for the stillness. It does feel like that.
Pareciera que tú eres la que escoges para ascender y tú eres la que estás escogiendo por ese espacio.
But ultimately, it all just dissolves into one.
Pero al final realmente todo se disuelve en uno.
And that's the truth of what alertness is.
Y esa es la verdad de lo que la alertidad es.
Yeah, it's a living, real experience.
Es una linda experiencia.
It's who you are. Oh, you guys. Your question. You know what I love is in these kind of meetings, it takes you guys to pull out the teaching too. You ask the questions that creates the teaching.
Y me encanta porque en estas reuniones ustedes hacen las preguntas y dando la atención.
Yeah. So it's because of you. Okay. Anything else? Well, I kind of got a feeling we had a bit of a funny night. We've had a funny night right from the beginning anyway, haven't we? But it seems like the time was a bit weird. A lot of people joined at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I might just keep going a little bit longer for those guys that came in later. But it's recorded anyway, right from 7 o'clock my time. I don't know what time that was planned or for everybody. But maybe a little bit longer and then we can end. So I just want to share something with you that I find quite, well, I like it, so hopefully you do. Okay. I couldn't hear anything. There you are. Yeah. And what I wanted to share with you guys was today I was just doing my thing in town here. And what I've been playing with a lot lately is just complete surrender, complete no plans, no control of anything. Which means just complete surrender to this moment. So I have no idea what my days are going to look like. And I have things that have to be done by a certain time frame, and there's just this immense trust. And it's really cool because I teach this to people, so it's nice to actually experience it myself. Of what it's like to just completely let go and just let God. You know, have absolutely no control, absolutely no pushing my opinions or my desires onto my day.
Entonces yo no tengo ni siquiera ni mi opinión, ni mi deseo, ni nada que empujara.
And I spoke earlier about how every day becomes like a vacation.
Y entonces les explicaba al principio que todo el día puede ser como una vacación, todo el día puede ser como una vacación.
Because if the vacation is supposed to give us the happiness and the relaxation and the peace, by becoming super present, you're living that, you're having that with you now.
Porque al estar súper presente pueden estar viviendo como una vacación, súper relajados, súper...
Yeah. you kind of fade away at the end. And so today was my vacation.
Entonces el día fue para mí mi vacación.
Because I was here, present, in this moment.
Porque yo estuve aquí, presente en este momento.
And I had the experience that there was nothing wrong, nothing lacking.
Y tuve la experiencia de que nada estaba equivocado, que nada me faltaba.
And that whatever was supposed to happen was going to happen.
Y que todo lo que tenía que pasar iba a pasar.
And it's pure magic. It's so magical to see the people arrive at the right time. The things that I said were pending, that I needed, arrived or were happening without me stressing about it or reminding someone about it.
Y fue mágico porque las personas que tenían que llegar llegaron justo a tiempo sin que yo dijera que tenían que llegar a esa hora.
The things that needed to be done were getting done.
Y las cosas que tenían que hacer se hicieron.
With me or without me.
Conmigo y sin mí.
Now I'm the type of personality that I can juggle like about 20 balls up in the air.
Y yo soy ese tipo de personalidad que puedo hacer mil cosas a la vez.
And it feels like there's no juggler. It just feels like it's all just supposed to be happening. And yet I'm here, turned up for life 100%, you know, because I'm present. It's such a magical way to live your life. That regardless if you're driving down the same street, going to the same places, it feels like it's so magical and brand new. It's like the desire to be present just gives us such a richness and a fullness to each moment. That there's just no way we can feel that there's something lacking. There's just no way we can entertain those ideas. And the thing that was really present for me today was just how much love is in the world. You know, there's ideas that things need to change, or there's ideas of, you know, people feel separate or whatever. But it's amazing to see everybody walking their own divine path. And that they're exactly where they're supposed to be. And if you just rest in this moment, if you're just present to what is in your world right now, how incredibly beautiful it is. Yeah. It's not like you're looking for it or trying to create it. It already is. There you go. That's what I wanted to share. I'm going to bring you guys back on every 2 weeks just so that I've got some cheerleaders. That's awesome. Actually, we might pick up this group and do a tour with you guys so that we can all every group that we have, every retreat we have, we can have the Lima cheerleaders. Oh my God, I love it. Anybody else want to say anything or say anything before we go? Nasi Prada, just go. Just unmute yourself and off you go.
I just really appreciate it. I got that it was at 9 o'clock, so sorry that I missed it. But I'll look forward to listening to the YouTube. But sorry, my cat likes your voice. So he came up and he's in there. But no, it just really takes me back to our meetings in Gairapa. So I really appreciate you doing that. And I just wanted to just appreciate, you know, having this energy, you know, in my own home. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Wow. I love your cat.
I wanted to say the same thing, Jaya. Thank you.
Oh.
There's a lot of things that are up that could be effortful, and I love the love and compassion that you are bringing to share, and the reminders to keep it simple and easy, and it's just a beautiful thing, and I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Oh.
Have a good trip, sweetheart.
Yes, thank you. I love you very much. Oh.
Love you too.
Anyone else? Okay then. So, well, thanks everybody for. Whoops, where did we go? Thanks everybody for joining. Whether you joined at 7 or 8 o'clock my time, it's all recorded, so you'll get everything if you want to check it out later. Anyway, I feel like I'm on advertising. Oh, sorry, Shadarupa. Well, one thing I love about how we always send off is I always just unmute everybody and everybody just starts saying goodbye or hello from whatever city you're in. And I just love it. I just love hearing everyone's voices and where you're from. It just really opens up how big this is. I just love doing these. So if we want to do that, I'll just leave the meeting open and we can just chat to each other and say hi and goodbye.
Hi, Samadhi.
Okay, I'm going to unmute you guys all and you can say hi and goodbye. And, you know, I only planned to do this for a short time, like just a couple of calls, but it's turned out to be so valuable for a lot of people that I've loved it, and I've loved that fact that you guys can go onto YouTube and listen to this again and again and again. So I'm going to keep doing this as long as people feel like they're getting stuff out of it. Okay, so thank you guys, and I love you all, and thank you so much for showing up. Okay.
Good night, everyone from
Aloha
Colorado.
from Colorado.
From Ohio.
From Arizona. Good night from Sacramento.
Take care from Minneapolis. Love you all.
Hello, California.
Amor desde Ciudad Juárez.
Bye from San Diego.
Bye from Cleveland, Ohio.
Good night from Ontario, Canada.
From Napa, California.
Oh,
Later. Bye-bye. Good to see you all.
good to see you.
A mí esta se suplicaba y yo voy a estar que tengo que cambiar, que genera tensión. Y más si tengo que
Gracias,
estar
Judith, tira.
¿entiendes? Porque tú me has dado ilusión.
Gracias.
Igualmente.
Igualmente. Gracias. Bye.
Cuando ya va, cuando yo descanso, te pareciera que no te guste que yo descanse. Cuando yo me estoy tomando de verdad el tiempo para recuperar mi salud total y absolutamente. Entonces, ¿cómo vienen con esta cosa que, o sea, que me creo con la autoridad?
Still coming on.
Que no se